Welcome to the Sacramento for Spiritual Living. I am so glad to have you all here, whether you are physically here or whether you're on YouTube here. I'm just glad you're here. So, we have a very special program for you this morning. We have a guest speaker, a Mitch Austin. He is a religious practitioner. He's also an intern minister, which means he is the next generation coming up. Yes. We're so excited about that. He has been a professional speaker and a masterful communicator for about 15 years. So that leads into both his talk, the workshop that he's going to be doing after the service, which we'll tell you more about later, and the 8-week course he's doing called Rise and Speak, which is a wonder to behold. And I'm going to be talking to several of you individually to kind of twist your arm a little bit, because mine's being twisted too, so it's going to be wonderful. But I'm really looking forward to hearing Mitch this morning. We also have our practitioner of today, Debbie Putnam, who I think all of us know. She is our lead practitioner, and she is also a minister through Anton, and we are delighted to have her on staff and part of our community. So Debbie, if you want to come give us our invocation and be our mistress of ceremonies.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I just want to look around at all your faces. Okay, I'm supposed to actually pray. But looking at your faces kind of is a prayer, so I'm like in already. Right? And I know that you've already stoked each other up with hugs and love. There is one one power, one presence, one infinite life, one infinite good. This infinite good is all that is and is all that is happening in every moment. It is happening right here and right now. It is the pure movement of being in action, loving and observing itself as its own creation. It is all that is. It is the immensity of being. And I, Debbie, am one with this immensity of being. Every part of my being is one with this good, one with this life. And each and every person here is one with this good and one with this life. Each and every person watching is one with this good and one with this life. As this life now moves in through and as us as our receptive and listening hearts, minds, and beings, as we take away whatever is ours to know today, each and every person, we have open hearts, open minds, and open hands. And I know for our speaker, Mitch, that he is now sailing on the wings of the divine as each and every word sparkles into the hearts of our beings, as everything he chooses to communicate is delivered in ways that can be heard and understood in the vastness of our oneness and our being. And this is true for the musicians, for the One Love Band, for each and every person, for our technology that goes so smoothly, for every person that supports this center in large ways and small ways. The board, the people who set up, the people who care for us, all of us who care for each other. In this knowing, I give thanks for answered prayer and release this into the universe that says yes, and so it is.
So it is.
And now for our readings. The power to live is within the self, implanted by the divine. Ultimately, every man, every person will realize their inner kingdom, which will become to us, which will become to him as the tree of life, providing food and shelter, perfection and joy, living the science of mind. And also from the living the science of mind, from the text of Taoism, we learn whatever is contrary to the Tao soon ends. He who injures others is sure to be injured by them in return. Faith is a certain, definite mental attitude. Faith is an affirmative way of using this law, this energy, this force. And now, for our wonderful One Love Band.
This is a chant, and you're welcome to sing along with us. It's pause, shanti, peace, serenity.
Shanti, Good. No more blowing eardrums. Well, good morning. So grateful to be here today. I'm grateful to Reverend Sharon Dunn for having me, and Reverend Patricia. We've been working quite a bit together for me to come today and for the workshop, which I hope many of you will stay for, and Rise and Speak, we're going to tell you a little more about later. So, you know, today is the best day ever, isn't it?
Yes.
We're right here. There's so many places we could be that aren't great, but we get to be here today in community, in connection with one another, and it's so powerful. And you know, it's a great day for me for two reasons. One, I just got over a little cold, so I'm not contagious, just so you know. So if you hear a little cough, right, that's the party gift that was left over from the cold. I'm not contagious, so nobody needs to run out of the room. I'm okay. But the second reason for me, it's an amazing day, besides being here, is I get to wear my three-piece suit. My three-piece suit. Now, what you don't know is I went through kind of a transformation in recent time, and I had waited 10 years to wear a three-piece suit. And you get to see it here today, isn't that awesome? And there's a story behind this suit. This suit is a demonstration. You see, back in July of 2021, I had a mystery illness. I was very tired, I had migraines, and I would watch the muscles in my legs ripple uncontrollably. They couldn't figure out what was going on. They ran all these tests, all kinds of tests. And all they could tell me was, you have high inflammation, that's it. I'm like, well, I must have something. My muscles are moving involuntarily. And I was so tired. I could only walk 20 feet, and I'd have to stop. And I couldn't cook. I had to DoorDash. It was really a frightening time. I was in that dark night of is this my new normal? Or is it going to get worse? And I've been thinking about what we teach here, what we know about law of mind, what we know about our partnership with Spirit. And I made a decision. I decided I was going to heal it even if I didn't know what it was. And I made that decision, and I went into deep prayer, and then I was just present with what showed up. Right? The friend with the book, the suggestion of an energy healer. I went to the energy healer, and she said, well, how committed are you to your healing? And I said, look, if you told me to go out and eat long grass, I go do it. I do anything. And I didn't know how. But I said to the presence, I said, you know how, so we're in this together. And then I began the journey, and I did anything and everything. I began that walk, that journey with Spirit. And what came up was stop the sugar, stop the gluten, drink the water, meditate. Meditations would come by, all these things. And I would do whatever I could. I'd walk my little 20 steps, and I'd say, I am whole, perfect, and complete. My health is returning to me. I would do all of it, as much as I could. And then I could walk a little further, a little further. You see, at that time, I wasn't healthy. I was over 200 pounds. I had a fatty liver. I had high blood pressure. I had diverticulitis. And now this. But as I began on this journey, I started to feel a little better, a little stronger. And I have, since I've been on this journey, lost 40 pounds. That's so sweet. And my energy returns. I now walk 6,000 steps a day. I never used to do that. I swim, I lift weights, I have more energy, the brain fog is gone. Even I went for a CT, right? Mm-hmm. I said, well, what about my fatty liver? Doctor says, we don't see any fatty liver on there. Gone. Yeah. I got my healing. Right? And here's what I want you to know. There's nothing special. There's nothing that I have that you don't have. And what I know is each of us have some area that we need healing in. And I want to provide you this idea, this hope that you can heal it even if you don't know how. To make your declaration, to begin that journey with Spirit, and then to do whatever is required of you. Because here's the thing. You deserve it. And the world deserves that version of you. Yes. Yes. We all have that rise up, come back power. Of course, this is not my talk. This is the appetizer talk that you got. But today we're going to talk about, the title of my talk is Gracefully Broken Open to the Light. And I'm going to break this title down into 3 parts. We're going to talk about being broken open and the function that it has in our life, and a little bit of Manifestation 101 and chemicalization and how that shows up. And then the gracefully part. Anyone ever been broken open and wasn't so graceful? Yeah. But we're going to talk about grace from a spiritual perspective and how it's always there, supporting us through those moments. And then we're going to talk about the lights, the shift into awareness, that higher ground, the gift, the lesson, or the blessing that comes along with this process. So Elizabeth Lesser, who knows her? She wrote the book Broken Open. She has the Omega Institute in New York. She's an amazing person. And she says, over and over, we are broken on the shores of life. Our stubborn egos are knocked around and our frightened hearts are broken open. Not once and not in predictable patterns, but in surprising ways and for as long as we live. It's a constant process of us being refined in spirit. And so since we're going to be broken open multiple times, I thought we'd talk about it. Get a little spiritual food for us on our journey. So part of this is the gap, and we're going to talk about the manifestation process here. And I love this little graphic. Let me see if I can turn to it here. So there's us in our comfort zone, that first little circle. And whatever's in there, call it good, call it bad, we are a vibrational match, yes? Because the first law of spirit is the law of vibration. And all vibrations, alike vibrations, come together in our experience, right? That's true. The noisy neighbor next door, that's part of your vibrational experience, as well as all the good stuff. So here's the thing. When we set an intention, right? When we set an intention for major change, to heal something or to bring something in, it's over here. It's outside of your vibrational bubble. Because if you were a match, it'd already be in here. Yes? Everybody understand that so far? Great. And where the magic happens. To me, the magic happens in this little space. See that? The gap. And I call that gap where you're moving from your comfort zone into a space of unfamiliar vibrations to become a match with what is unfamiliar, what you're calling in. So now you can play match game and bring it into your experience. But this is the hard part, the gap. I call it getting a promotion. Because you're going into the space where you're going to be in unfamiliar territory. And right when you get to that little chalk line, see where the arrow thing meet right there, that's when your fear voice kicks in. Anybody know that voice? Who are you? Or it kicks in the twos. You're too old, you're too skinny, you're too whatever. Or the nots, right? You're not smart enough, you're not rich enough. That's when that voice goes way up. Because your mind is designed to keep you safe. Its version of safe is still, it's stuck. It's staying in your comfort zone, right? Your mind, your brain is not interested in your hopes, your dreams, like that's scary stuff. Stay right there. So we got to get into this gap. But the thing is, when we get into the gap, things start to happen, right? That alchemy of spirit. Things fall away, new things come in, new experiences. And that becomes our broken open experience. So spirit is rearranging stuff, you and your stuff in your life to become a match to this. Who's ever heard of chemicalization? Anybody? Right. Most science of mind circles don't hear about it, but Unity talks about it quite a bit. I guess years ago, religious science and science of mind said, we're not going to talk about that. It scares people. But Unity talks about it, and here's what it is. When we really send that heart-centered intention, right, from that deepest part of ourselves, we have set the signature into spirit. We've put in our order. right? Now what happens is Spirit goes to work. And this is the chemicalization part. This is the part where it knows this has got to fall away, this person, this situation, this job, whatever it is. And this new thing's got to come in. And guess what? It doesn't ask your permission. It doesn't. It just does it. That's the chemicalization part. You ever hear, be careful what you ask for? You kind of get it? Well, that's part of the journey. So this is part of the gap. And when we're navigating that gap, that's a powerful time to use our spiritual principles, to use our affirmations. You know, I was broken open in that health crisis. And I was using every spiritual tool I had. Affirmations, prayer, community, all of it. And that will help us move through the gap. And you know the most powerful tool that you can have when you're in that situation? It's right here in this room. Community. We are better together. We're stronger, we're healthier, and we can make these jumps, these moves, and get our promotion when we work together in these areas. So, you know who knows this? Anybody love Iala Van Zant? Yes. Iala Van Zant. I love her. She's my shero. Her story is really interesting. You know, she was like a young teenage mother of several children. She was in the projects. Like, really not someone who was going to have a bright future, per se, right? But then she went to college. She put her kids in the hallway, go to class. Then she went to law school, passed the bar, and became a public defender. And she was very good. She was very good at even getting guilty people off the hook. But it didn't make her feel very good. And she also had a passion for empowering women, helping women rise up because she had done it. That was really her love work. And one day, she had a realization. She had gotten some guy off the hook for something terrible. And she's like, so this is my life work now? Like, this doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like it's an integrity. And one day, she went to her office. She went to flip on her lights. They didn't come on. And so she called somebody over, and they came in, and they flipped her lights. They went right on. And she sat down at her desk, and she heard a familiar voice, the same voice that told her to leave her abusive husband. And she knew not to ignore this voice, and it came in and it said, leave your job now. She got up from the desk, left the tea bags and honey in the drawer, and walked right out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there she is in her broken moment, like, how do I come up from the projects, go through college, get my attorney license, and leave? I'm sure she had a lot of people going, you okay, y'all? Everything all right? And in that time period, in that desert period, in that alchemy of the spirit, in that gap, she ate a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And she continued her work with women. Sometimes having a workshop, just 2 people showing up. And she had this little workbook, and then she put some more stuff in the workbook, and then the workbook became a book. And then that book got a lot of attention. And then she became known to the world as the transformational coach and teacher that she is. Right? But not a comfortable process, yes? Mm-hmm. So these are the kinds of things that can happen when we set these powerful intentions and we move through the potter's wheel of spirit. But here's the thing. There's always this element of grace that's holding us and supporting us in these times. And we can look to it. Has anyone noticed that when your life has become the leanest and the hardest, you can see spirit active the best in your life? So clear. And that's really the activity of grace. Grace being that power that works to restore us to wholeness. I love what poet Wilka says. Wilka says, in the difficult are the friendly forces, the hands that work upon us. The hands that work upon us. Richard Rohr, love him, he calls grace the gap filler. The gap filler, right? So grace gives us courage when we need to do hard things. Grace gives us hope when we're low. And grace gives us supply when we need support. You know, Ayala, when she left her husband, she had heard that voice in the middle of the night. So she got up, gathered her 3 kids, got the sippy cup, the diapers, and headed out. And only when she got to the subway, she realized she had no money. No money. And she's going down the stairs, and there's this very well-dressed man coming up the stairs with his hat and his suit, and he turns to her and says, "What do you need?" And she looks at him and she goes, "I need a cigarette and a token." So he hands her a cigarette and a token. She takes a couple steps down and she looks back. He's gone. Almost like he wasn't even there. And then she said, "Why didn't I ask for a pack and a wad of cash?" Always love that part. But here's how I like to think of grace. I like to think of it as a spiritual adaptogen. So adaptogens, like in the body when we use herbs, like if you take ginseng, it does one thing. It brings up your energy, right? Or if you take ashwagandha, it brings down your energy. It just does one thing. But there's some herbs, like sage, that when you take them into your body, if you're low on energy, it'll bring you up. Or if you're too stressed out or high, it'll bring you down. It will adapt your energy and bring you into this homeostasis. See, I think hope is like that, and grace is like that. So if you're in despair, grace knows to bring in some hope. Or if you're really stressed out, grace knows to bring in some peace. It knows how to bring back our balance and to be like an adaptogen in our lives. You know, I had this experience play out in my own life. Back in 2018, I went through a breakup. I thought I had found my forever person. You know, we were the it couple. We could show up to karaoke, tell some friends, and 30 people would show up. You know, it was that kind of thing. And I had a sense of family, and I was really into the relationship, but she wasn't. She actually quit the relationship. You ever be in a relationship, somebody's quit, but it isn't over yet? It was that kind of stuff. So we ended the relationship, and I was devastated. I mean, I was sad in a place I didn't know I could be sad. You know, and I was 51 years old, and I was thinking, you know, I'd had a number of relationships. I thought, maybe they're just not for me, right? I kind of went through that dark night of the soul feeling that I should just give up. And that was in May, and then in July, I was a summer camp advisor for youth. I went to the camp, and one of my good friends from Colorado, we always meet each other at camp, and she had brought some gifts for everybody. And she met me in the amphitheater, we had some downtime, and she handed me the gift, and I opened it up. And it was a necklace. And on the medallion it said, "Never, never, never give up." And I fell into a waterfall of tears right there. It was the message I needed to hear. It was the hand of grace. And not only did that message come to me when I needed to hear it, it came to me from her. Her and her partner have what I call my ideal relationship. I mean, it couldn't have been any more perfect. You know, Richard Rohr says about grace, he says, "Something or someone builds a bridge for you, recognizable only from the far side, that carries you across either willingly or even dragging your feet. Something or someone seems to fill the tragic gap between the ending and the new beginning, but only at the point of no return. None of us crosses over by our own effort or merits purity or perfection. We are all carried across by an uncreated and unearned grace." I just love that. And we need to look for it when we're in those moments. We need to know it's coming. And the more we look for it, the more we see it, the more we trust it. And we grow that faith, that feeling of faith expands and supports us in those times. And then we need to look for the light when we're in those broken open moments, because it's coming. That lesson or blessing. You ever get through something and at the end you're like, I don't know if there was a lesson or blessing in that. You feel like a snow globe and everything's still like up in the air and your feelings and emotions. It might take some time. But how many times have you looked back and you go, I know why that happened? Anybody look back and go, I know I love it. And I'm actually better for it. And here's the thing. The stressors of life are going to come. And we have a choice to make. Are we going to be like eggs or peas? You know, you put eggs and peas in boiling water, the eggs become hard and the peas become soft. See, these broken moments can make us cynical, shut down, critical, judgmental. Anybody ever meet those people? Not happy, not seeing it, not seeing the gift. See, our challenge is to be more like peas, to let it soften us, to let it shape us, to let it help us become that new version of ourselves, that unfolding that's helping us get the lesson, the blessing, and be the match to that greater good. R.M. Drake says, sometimes you think you're being put in a hard situation, but in reality, the universe is preparing you for something good. Remember that. And be ready when it comes. That's our job. Don't fall asleep. Be ready. Tell somebody, be ready. Turn to somebody and say, be ready.
Be ready.
And turn to somebody else and say, be ready. Be ready. I want you to remember that phrase, right? You come here next Sunday and somebody's like, oh, I'm going through it. Well, be ready. Something good's going to come. It's going to come. So I'm going to close with a line from Amazing Grace. I'm not going to sing it. Although I love singing that song. I'm the shower singer. But there's this one part of the song I never understood until I worked on his talk. And it's the part that says, 'twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fear relieve. How precious did that grace appear the first hour, I believe. I didn't get the grace taught my heart to fear part. What was that? But you know, when I went through my health journey, I was afraid. That fear woke me up and got me moving. I would still be 200 pounds. High blood pressure, fatty liver. If that fear hadn't really woke me up to, I need to do something about this and I need to do it now. And then grace showed up as my relief, as my direction, as my support to walk across that bridge of fear and get my healing. And now I believe, like I've got this now. I've went through this, I've looked at it, I've reflected it, I've shared it with all of you. I invite you when that fear comes in. What is it pushing me to do? Because Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith says we're pushed by pain till we're pulled by vision. Spirit knows how to use pain for our good. We need to trust it. Because it's moving us in a place that we need to move. So it's my hope that when you enter your broken moment, open moments, maybe you're in one now, or maybe you experience one in the future, because we keep getting broken open over and over and over again, that you lean into community, you get your support, you use your tools, you remember that the power is within you to navigate this. And that you look for the grace that's coming in to be your supply, your hope, your healing, your direction. And that you remember that the light is coming no matter how dark it may seem. The light is coming for your lesson or your blessing. Stay awake to it. And it's also my prayer that no matter how dark or hopeless it seems, that you never, never, never give up. Thank you so much. Let's take this message into prayer. I'm knowing that there's only one power, one presence, one life, one being that is all powerful, all loving, all wise. And it is every part of our lives. It's our mind, it's our body, it's our spirits, it's in the affairs of our life. And it is always going out before us and preparing the way. The next path, the next step, the next supply that is needed for the most high experience of our journey. And I speak my word into the one, knowing that each of us remembers that we are in partnership with the most loving power, presence that loves us beyond what we can even imagine and is always there to provide us with what is needed, with our wholeness, with our peace, with our grace, with our courage, with our strength, with our supply. And I simply give thanks for remembering this high truth that we are never alone, that we are it. And I give thanks for this beautiful community called CSL Sacramento and its love and its strength and its teaching and its light continuing to shine and expand in the world. I release this word into the love and law of the presence, and together we say, so it is. Blessed be. Hello, Melissa. I'm going to shut it off. There we go.
And I too am not contagious. I was sick about 2.5 weeks ago. Okay. In honor of today's, we are going to do this song. There must be more beyond familiar shores, into waters unexplored. This one desire stirring here in me, deep is calling out to deep. Take me where I've been, into something new, giving up control. I need a breakthrough. All dreams and fears crashing into you. You're waking up my hope. You are my breakthrough. Come on, breakthrough. Your love is so wide, conquers by the fences, opens up the impossible. It's so amazing how you take the ashes, turn them into beautiful. Take me where I've been, into something new. I'm giving up control. I need a breakthrough. All my dreams and fears crashing into you. You're waking up my hope. You are my breakthrough. Come on, breakthrough. You are my breakthrough. Breakthrough. You're making all things new. You're making all things new. It's what you always do. You are my breakthrough. You're making all things new. You're making all things new. It's what you always do. You are my breakthrough. You're making all things new. You're making all things new. It's what you always do. You are my breakthrough. You're making all things new. You're making all things new. It's what you always do. You are my breakthrough. Breakthrough. You are my breakthrough.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're at our CSL, and now it's our offering time. And as you can see, we give giving financially is a sacred service. And when we give, we activate and increase our flow of good. So this spiritual practice gets easier as you notice the increase in your abundant life. And this has worked for me, so I'm saying that personally. Giving to the Sacramento CSL Spiritual Center supports our vision, our mission, and our purpose. Go to our website, a beautiful website, and you fly out and check it out. And on our PO box for mailing, you can mail a check, which I still do. Or you can donate to PayPal, or you can use a credit card. And we appreciate your tax-deductible donation. Thank you. And can you hear me?
Yes. Very good.
And then here's our abundant affirmation. Please remain silent as we say our affirmation together. Abiding
By the law of circulation and in heartfelt gratitude, I affirm that I live in a creative and abundant universe that continuously flows in, through, and out as me, expressing as the ever-expanding infinite good.
And
So it is.
And also we have, we ask for your prayer requests. We're a praying group. We love it. We believe in it, and it works. So please send in your prayers. We'll pray over them, and we're honored to do so. Thank you. And I thank you again for the wonderful.
Announcements. Since you're here, you know where we meet in person. It's here. And we meet the first, third, and fifth Sundays of the month. And January actually has a fifth Sunday. So be sure you come. We are always on YouTube. So whether we're here or not, or whether you're here or not, you can always connect with us. Because we really like connecting with you. And you can connect to us through our website. We built this website to be the connection point in time and space. So we really love it. We'd like you to use it. It's where we put all our ongoing events and our upcoming events. And it's also the best way to connect with us through the YouTube Live. On the first page, you'll see this above ongoing events, where you can check out our previous recordings by going to our YouTube channel. I think we've got like 2 or 3 years worth of archive talks. So if there's anything that you want to hear about, Reverend Sharon or I, or someone that we've had as a guest speaker, has probably addressed that. So go take a look. But on Sundays, you'll see where it says join us every Sunday. There'll be a button there that says join now, and you can join live. And if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you'll get a message saying, it's time, click here. And it's really, really easy. Also, the more subscribers we have, the more responsive YouTube is, and the more ability we have, more features that we have access to. So you benefit no matter what if you sign up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So please do that. Now, Empowered Communication for Spiritual People. This is the 90-minute workshop that Mitch is going to be doing this afternoon. And many of you may know about Oprah Winfrey's test for identifying highly sensitive people. I'd never heard of it before, but I happen to know that I work with a lot of highly sensitive people, and I don't consider myself one of them. So communication has been an ongoing issue in my life, one of my challenges. You thought I said, what? So I'm really looking forward to that. So whether you consider yourself highly sensitive or not, the communication patterns and how we communicate with each other is just so critical to our ability to establish and maintain and sustain community. And it's something we're all learning. We don't learn how to communicate from age 1 in the most healthy ways. So this is a great way to kind of check in to where you are on your path of communication. So I strongly encourage that. Now, the workshop that Mitch is going to be doing, I'm going to have him come up and talk about, although I am absolutely 100% behind this, and I know Doug is going to sign up for it, for those of you who know Doug, and there's about a 98% chance that I'm going to be there too. So this is how amazing I think this is. So
Yeah.
Anybody been through some stuff? Yeah. So I started this class back in 2018, and I'm pretty much convinced that it's the most powerful thing I've ever done on the planet. I have seen healings in this class that are mind-blowing. And part of the process in the Rise and Speak, yes, you're going to tell your story, you're going to make your message, which I call your life, right? But the gift of it is you get to take your real-time self right now and look back over your life and find that lesson or blessing, put it into a short message, and share it with the world. To bring your medicine into the world for a message of love, hope, and transformation. And it's powerful and it's intimate. If you are ready to get back with people and connect in meaningful and powerful and lasting ways, this is definitely the class for you. Yes, you will learn to speak. Yes, you'll learn all those things. But it's really the journey and experience that is the true gift of this. And if you want to know more about it, hit up Margie. Margie took the class. She did an amazing message.
I did.
And I am so grateful to Reverend Sharon, Reverend Patricia for shepherding this class to your community. It will draw you all so much closer together. So I feel honored to bring it. Hope you consider it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
I just have one quick question. Margie, do you want to tell us anything about the class? Do you want to say anything?
Oh, there's a flyer, Margie. Tell them there's a flyer in the back. There you go.
There's a flyer, and it's on our website probably, and all the things.
It will be.
There you go.
Tell them about your experience, Margie. Your experience.
Yes, I signed up for Mitch's class because my girlfriend did. She goes, oh, I'm going to sign up. I said, first signing up, I'll sign up. And then we signed up, and then it started, and then we had doubts. Oh, why did we sign up? I don't know what kind of story we're going to tell. And we all have a story, right? So when I hit my computer and I'm on it and I'm changing, I'm like, why did I do this? Because I had to get everything in order. But it taught me organization and everything that happened, in order. And I learned so much. I thought, I didn't think I would learn anything. It's just a story, right? Wow. I learned that my intentions that I put out there since I was little were manifesting, but I didn't know. Even the not so good ones, my intentions. But I learned be careful what you think, you might get it. So I got a lot that I didn't want. So I started learning how to do intentions. I don't do resolutions, I do intentions, and they're powerful. So please, enjoy this workshop and take the class. You just learn so much about yourself and others. Yes, Stephanie?
I went to the presentation that Margie did with her students. I walked in with one person, and after I heard all of their stories, I walked out a totally different person. It is mind-blowingly healing, and it is mind-blowingly powerful. Because you're not only telling and learning yourself, but you're sharing with the world, like Mitch says, and it heals the world, literally. I walked out of there a totally different person. Thank you so much, Mitch.
Oh, thank you, Mitch. Okay, so we'll see you after for the workshop, and it's January 31st to March 14th on a Tuesday evening, 6 to 8:30. And where is it?
The annex.
The annex. Okay, and that's,
Me.
okay, that's Reverend Patricia's home. So if you, we got the flyer here, if you need any information, our website, and you can call the number and get the address. Okay? Thank you. See you there.
Hey, Margie.
Can you hear the amazing spiritual teacher and speaker in Margie as she presents this? Oh my gosh. So I'm just saying, thank you, Margie. And it's also Doug's home, right?
Yes.
Just check.
Last I checked, yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, so now we want to share with you the affirmation that you will take into this week. Today, I remember that every breakdown is a setup for a breakthrough to a better, stronger, wiser version of myself. I'm going to run that one more time. Today, I remember that every breakdown is a setup for a breakthrough to a better, stronger, wiser version of myself. And now for our benediction, followed by our closing song and fellowship. And if you are online, please stay online for your own fellowship. Enjoy each other's company, just as we will be doing here. Is the workshop just in person, or is it in person and virtual?
In person.
So it's in person. Okay, great. One power, one presence, one life, one grace that speaks and lives in, as, and through us. This is all we are. As we move into our lives today, as we move into what might seem like busyness or responsibility or duty, we are moving into the grace of our being in every moment. We allow this grace to shine through. Just as Mitch has spoken to us, just as we know that we are ready. We are open. We are one with this infinite presence that is moving as our good right now. Wonderful things are happening. And we turn to this like the sunflower to the sun. We know this wonderfulness, that wonderful things are happening in our lives now. And in this knowing, I give thanks and we give thanks for answered prayer, and release this word into the infinite, powerful law of being that creates galaxies and universes and hummingbirds and rainstorms and all the things. And so it is.
So it is.
Remember, music, the best part, and fellowship, also the best part.
So this is 2023. Woo-hoo. I hope you're like me. I want to make it better. Here we go. What did you do? 2022. Did you make any plans? Did you see them through? What did you create? Did you try something new? This
12th